Welcome everybody to CALLOUS Invitational 5, Round 7, the second and final match in the Revenge Round. As you guys saw, the other pairing, just as this one is, a repeat of a Round 4 matchup in which Johnny G2 failed to get his revenge against H-Clat. H-Clat defeated him for the second time and knocked him out of the tour. Now it is Altina trying to get his revenge against Starmaster, who he lost to 2-1 in Round 4. We are that much deeper now, very close to the money. Starmaster coming into this is the guy, according to our survey, who had the single most amount of votes for who will win CALLOUS Invitational 5. Likewise, we asked the players, the survey takers, name the 5 players that you guys think are most likely to make money. Starmaster, again, right near the top. Everybody thinks that Starmaster is the guy, but he is on the brink of elimination against an Altina who I have never seen look this good. The eye test has said that Altina has been arguably the best player in this tournament. Now it's his chance to get revenge and to pull off what many would consider an upset and take out tournament favorite Starmaster. Can Star beat him for a second time, or will the revenge be successful? Here's game 1 in their best of 3. So, Star on the bottom with a tower, Altina on the top with a meta. Star doesn't like it, and Altina does. We've got a critical hit meteor mash to start things off for Altina. Turn 1 crit, always a wonderful thing. And there is spikes coming down for Star with his banged up Fori. Couple more mashes later, no misses or attack raises. Counter coming down this time, 49%. I think he was hoping to get hit with a hidden power, but that is not the way it went. And the follow-up meteor mash with a damage roll is going to kill the Fori, and that's going to leave Altina with an early lead. There is one spike down, but overall, favorable transaction for Altina, clearly. So now Kuhn comes in, gets immediately Giga Drained. And that's going to roar out the Celebi. We find ourselves with Kuhn on Kuhn now. Faster one seemingly belonging to Altina based on the sand. But there's the switch to Claydol, which gets immediately roared out, and Kuhn reappears. Hey, every little bit of spikes damage counts, especially when there is sand in play negating lefties. This time he doesn't roar, he goes for a Calm Mind. That certainly would threaten the doll had it come in, but it didn't. It's the Celebi again. And here's Rachi trying to come in on Giga Drain. Instead, it is Psychic from Altina. That's going to do almost nothing, barely negate lefties. And now Body Slam coming down. Does not get the 60-40 para on the doll. Rapid Spin happens, and any advantage Starmaster had is gone. He does get a crit para on the following Body Slam, so he at least punishes the Rapid Spin. But Altina with a clear lead. Here's the double back to Kuhn as the T-Tower reappears that may have been anticipating Boom. More switching leads us to Metagross and Kuhn. And now T-Tower in again, predicted by Altina with the Earthquake for heavy damage. Switches over to T-Tower. And here comes Aerodactyl now. More switching. Now Claydol, which was also predicted by Altina. And now he switches it up for Ice Beam. Gets Earthquaked back for 54%, but the faster tower threatening the kill. Aerodactyl in at this point. Neutral hidden power, seemingly grass. Here's the Claydol switch, and that dies to a super effective hidden power that you've got to think is Bug. Leaves us in a 5-5 situation. Meta comes in, correct again with its Choice Band prediction. And the follow-up Earthquake is good enough. Rachi down for Starmaster. Altina spot on in this game like a sniper with those predictions. Getting the right plays every time with the CB Metagross. That earns him the lead, and it leaves us 5-4 with Altina up and an unrevealed in the back. Celebi at this point comes in on Surf, sure. And now Aerodactyl reappearing for Starmaster. That's going to eat Giga Drain. Kuhn reappears. Hidden Power Bug with a crit. That'll be good enough. So now, 4-4. Last poke revealed for Altina. That was a Salamence in the back that we see does have lefties. We've got ourselves a DD Mence here. And if it is EV to survive an Ice Beam, which I don't even think the Coon has, he's in pretty good shape. He's going to Rock Slide for the flinch to try to prevent the roar. Doesn't happen. And Star lives to fight another day, but Altina in great shape with that DD Mens that Star does not have a good answer for. Here's the T-Tar switch. Rock Slide the play. Be good enough if he hits the next one. And he does. So 3-3, but Star has felt on the back foot pretty much the entire game. However, where there's an arrow, there's a way. With a flinch or a crit here, and he does get the flinch. Maybe he can get there. Rock Slide again. Good enough. Starmaster taking the lead right at the end. Here's the double back and the mash. 2-2. It's gonna be close. Here's the doll. He doesn't want to do the Aerodactyl 50-50 prediction game, but he's outsped and killed. I think he needed to go arrow there and get the prediction right, but alas, didn't happen. So now he must rely on Meteor Mash misses, crits, flinches, and he does not get any of them. He rock slides, flinch doesn't happen, Meteor Mash connects, and Altina secures the first game. It got a little closer in the late game. I question why he went to the doll on the meta. I guess he thought he would be faster, but as you can see, evidently he was not. He could have gone to the Aerodactyl and flipped a coin, and maybe that is the play. I think the problem with that, though, is if you go to the Aerodactyl, I think Altina has a definitive win. I think he recognized that. So I think if you're Star and you go to the Aerodactyl, you basically just have to rock slide anyway, because if you Earthquake and you kill the meta, sure, but then Altina goes to the the Salamence, you're stuck on Earthquake, he DDs, and he just wins, pending a rock slide miss on the Aerodactyl. So I get why Star did what he did. It ultimately was going to always just come down to the Aerodactyl against the meta here. Like I said, crits, flinches, Meteor Mash misses, whatever, were going to be necessary, and the RNG just did not kick in for Star there. So Altina, one game away from getting his revenge. However, as we saw, Johnny G won Game 1 against H-Clad as well, and then got demolished for the rest of the series. So we know that one game is not the be-all, end-all in these things, and we obviously know that Starmaster, super capable of rallying off 2 games in a row against a player that he already beat in Altina. So let's see if Altina can close him out for a big upset, or if Starmaster can send us to a third game. Here's Game 2. Star again on the bottom, and Altina again on the top. We have a Mence and a T-Tar, different leads for both players from before. And Star likes the matchup, stays in with a turn 1 crit brick break on what seems to be a CB Mence with no lefties, and based on the damage. Rachi, nevertheless, is going to wish. Fire Punch now, trying to burn a Lax, which doesn't happen, and he's going to curse up on what could have been a Protect turn. So we've got a +1 Lax and a fully healed Rachi, which becomes a Skarm, and there's curse number 2. Don't think he's going to be able to do much to Skarm here, but there may be a Magneton somewhere in the back, and he immediately goes to that as spikes come down. And Thunderbolt going to be good enough, so you've got to think that he's holding Magnet. So the spikes for Mon trade, as we saw in the reverse last game. And there is the follow-up revenge kill with Flamethrower. Fair enough. So we've got ourselves a quick 5-5, but Star has to deal with a spike, and Altina does not. Here comes Doll. Rock Slide coming down for just 17%. That's not the right prediction, unfortunately. So now Celebi is going to have to come in. And there's an Earthquake for Altina with no reason not to do that. Jirachi coming in for Altina. Immediate Leech Seed. Probably going to deter him from staying in too much longer. Lax comes in now with the Skarm no longer a threat. Don't know if it is Earthquake or anything meaningful to hit the tower with, but he stays in and eats a Brick Break for 36%, and indeed, he does have Earthquake to come back for 45%. Out of the way at this point, and so is Star. We end up with this matchup, the Doll on the B. B having to step on the spikes on the way in. 2 unrevealeds on the back for both guys. Again, Leech Seed immediately greeting the Jirachi, which should probably force it out. Lax reappears, stepping on the spike to do so. And there's a Wish, so it gets tricky here because Wish often paired with Protect, and you obviously don't want to boom into a Protect. It is not a Boom Lax. We've got ourselves a Rest Lax. That's what he's going to go for here. and Zapdos is going to appear for the first time to greet him. Gonna stay in, go for Thunderbolt. Why not? Celebi comes in and tanks that, 19%. Drill Peck, an unwelcome surprise, but he goes for Recover, thankfully. Otherwise, the follow-up Drill Peck would have been a real problem for the Celebi. Altina gonna press the issue, however. Star has to tread carefully here. Altina with a crit or with persistence here could just get there. And he Drill Pecks again, and Starmaster, I think, wisely decides that he doesn't want to deal with this matchup. Out of the way he goes. He gets an Intimidate off and then doubles back to Celebi. Risky business had Altina stayed in and gone Drill Peck again, but he does not. And that's going to enable a crucial Recover to get off for Starmaster for his Celebi that was a moment ago on the ropes. He now gets a Heal Bell off. That's solely to wake up the Lax, so its nap is over. And in exchange, Altina's going to wish that he can pass wherever. He's going to go to Claydol, eats a big HP Grass, but it is instantly negated by the wish, and Doll back to 100%. Now Rachi in, and every time it comes in, it seems to get Leech Seeded. This is at least the third time that's happened, and there it is again. Now Zapdos coming in. HP Grass doesn't care, 15%. We know it has Drill Peck, so we'll see how Star wants to respond to that. And the answer is he wants to stay in. He opts for Leech Seed, taking 50% in the process. This is an obvious Recover turn for Star. And Rachi going to commit on something other than Leech Seed for once. Got ourselves still a 5-5 with unrevealeds in the back for both players. 2 of them for Star, 1 for Altina. Here's the Wish, which the T-Tower would take. And everybody else is alright. I guess the Zapdos could take it too. But it's none of that. It is the Breloom, previously unrevealed, coming in for Altina. That is his third Rock Resist, which makes sense since he's not rocking a bulky Water. And he's going to go for Spore here on the Lax. He does not follow up, however, with Focus Punch. Instead, he doubles to T-Tower on the Celebi. Gets a little lefties back. Swampert appears for Star for the first time, so we only have 1 unrevealed still. It belongs to Star. Lot of switching. Toxic connecting. And there is a Curse. That actually might be an unlucky matchup for Altina, because a lot of the time the Curse Purr does actually have Rest, which would also explain the Heal Bell Celebi. So I think, even though Toxic on Purr is good 90% of the time, this might be that rare occasion where it's not so good. Alternatively, maybe he doesn't have Rest. Maybe he's just relying on the Heal Bell, but the Rest Heal Bell combo makes a lot of sense to me. And Starmaster thinks it's so important to Heal Bell that he's willing to eat a Drill Peck here. That leaves his Celebi essentially dead. I don't know that I love that decision making. He has an Umbreon in the back. Starmaster busting out the Umbreon with his tournament life on the line. Pretty wild. He gets roared out after Toxic on the Zapdos. The Toxic there obviously good. But man, Starmaster ballsy. Busting out the seldom seen Umbreon with his tournament life on the line. Hey, the man's obviously not afraid. See if it pays off for him. We still have ourselves a tie game, but the Celebi now is effectively dead. When it comes in next time on the spike, it will die. Swampert on Zapdos. Rachi coming in. There's an Ice Beam. Star fishing for a nice freeze there, but doesn't get it. Now Claydol reappears, and that's going to be a swing and a miss Earthquake for Starmaster. He does get some lefties back, though. He begins to curse up. The Rachi we know has Toxic, yet to be determined if its last move Rest or not for Swampert. Toxic and +1 Earthquake respectively, big +1 Earthquake, 85% on the Rachi, but the Toxic does connect. Protect, and Star not able to predict that and go for Curse or Rest. He goes Earthquake again. Now Zapdos comes in hoping to come in on Earthquake. This time Star's right, and he's rewarded with a critical hit Ice Beam, giving him the air quotes lead at 5-4, keeping in mind that Celebi is effectively dead. Claydol comes in on Earthquake. Altina maneuvering around this well, and Toxic stalling Star out. And he's had enough. He goes back to Mance only to get immediately blown on. That leaves us in a 3-4 with the Boom trade. And now Umbreon is going to try to deal with Breloom. Spoiler, I don't think it's going to work. He's going to eat the Spore, so there is nap time for a sleepy Umbreon. But Breloom seems very difficult to deal with based on what remains for Starmaster. Leaves us at a 3-3, but the Pert is low and poison. The Celebi is effectively dead. I don't think Lax is going to beat Breloom. I think Starmaster's got himself a problem. He switches in the Lax only to be immediately Sky Uppercut crit. This looks over to me. Breloom on cleanup duty, and it doesn't look like there's much Star can do. Mach Punch there if there was any chance Breloom was slower, and that is the kill. And it's going to be Altina pulling off the improbable 2-0 upset over Starmaster and taking out consensus tournament favorite Starmaster in the process. Star has been one of the most consistent players. In fact, I would argue the second most consistent player in CALLOUS Invitational history under Linear. Star has consistently had single-digit finishes, including his top 6 finish this year, which is very solid, but he will not join the history books this year, being just the 3rd player alongside Linear and then ABR to make money in this tournament more than once. It'll be only Linear and ABR who have ever done that. Star is going to have to wait till next year. Altina looks great in this series. The first game was close. This game didn't feel as close. I don't know if it was the team or the matchup or some RNG or what, but Altina just cleaned him up pretty cleanly in this one. It didn't look like Star ever really was pushing ahead in this particular game. Credit where it's due to Altina making an incredible run. He now finds himself in the the undesirable position of Bubble Boy, the Bubble Boy matchup. Either he, Altina, or H-Clat will be out in 4th place, which is a great finish, but it's of course the finish 1 slot short of the money. One of those guys is going to make cash money. Altina, the only thing standing in the way of an All-American top 3, or H-Clat, maybe he finally will break through. He's had a lot of deep finishes, but will he get it the whole way? So that's where we stand. Starmaster and Johnny G out in 5th and 6th, respectively. And Altina against H-Clat in the lower bracket final next week for the at least 3rd place finish. One of them going to be the Bubble Boy out in 4th. That's where we stand. You're going to see the winners bracket and the losers bracket final next week. Look forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed watching.